Hi guys, we're going to do some adding polynomials. This is a review. We've done this before, but I did want to make a video on it just in case we're having some trouble, because this is some easier stuff. So there's a polynomial and this polynomial. In this case, I'm adding them. I mentioned it before, when there's a plus outside the parentheses, in this case, both of these parentheses have a plus. You don't do anything. You basically treat it like the parentheses is not there. You can rewrite it if you want. But when there's a plus, then treat it like the parentheses is not there. And just combine your like terms. Remember, like terms has the same variable and the same exponent. So this has an exponent of x and a variable of x and an exponent of 4. This is just an x, this is just an x, and this is an x and a 4. So our like terms are this one and this one. This would be 2x to the 4th. This is plus 7x to the 4th, would be 9x to the 4th. And then we have these x's. Again, these are like terms because they have the same variable x and the same exponent. In this case, it's the imaginary 1. So we just combine them. 3x plus 4x. 3x plus x is 4x. The only time this gets difficult is in a question like this, when there's a negative in front of the parentheses. So this one, again, this one does not have a negative in front. So if I wanted to, I could just rewrite it because nothing happens to this, right? There's a positive here. Nothing happens to this. This one, however, there's a negative 1, and we have to distribute that negative 1 to these numbers. Negative 1 times 2n squared would be negative 2n squared. Negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. Once I've distributed that, I don't have a parentheses anymore, so I can just combine like terms. Same exponent, same variable. So that's 7n squared minus 2n squared, which is 5n squared. And then numbers are always like terms. Positive 1 plus 4 is positive 5. Again, this one has a positive in front, so it looks like that. This one has a negative in front, so I have to distribute the negative to get rid of that parenthesis. So negative 1 times 5 is negative 5m to the 4th. Negative 1 times negative 4 is positive 4. Right? Negative times negative is positive. And then combine like terms. These are like because they're both m4. So 2m to the 4th minus 5m to the 4th would be negative 3m to the 4th. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. I do not have to write the 0. So this would be my final answer. Again, I have lots more examples here just to make sure we understand this because it's not hard. As long as you understand that if there's a positive in front of the parentheses, we can just remove the parentheses. And in order to remove this parentheses with this negative, we have to distribute the negative 1. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2v. Negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. 2v minus 2v is 0. I don't need to write 0. And then 4 minus 8 is negative 4. This would be my final answer. So these are the easiest. When there's no negative, we can just treat it like the parentheses are not there. So it could be 5b minus 7b cubed plus 4b minus 6b squared. And I add the like terms. I have a b with an exponent, imaginary exponent of 1. So this one and this one are like terms. I have a b squared. This is a b cubed. They're not like terms. So there's nothing to add to this one. So it just comes down. And there's nothing to add to this one. So it just comes down. And this, for this particular question, this would be my final answer. because these aren't like terms, so I cannot combine them. All right, this one's a plus. So again, I could rewrite the whole thing, but since I know the parentheses don't matter, I'm just going to combine them. I've got this one and this one. They're like terms. 3k cubed minus 4k cubed is 1k cubed. I don't need to write the 1. Oh, actually, negative 1. And then these. 5k squared plus 6k squared is 11k squared. This would be my answer. Again, when it's pluses, it's easy. You just combine like terms. It's plus again, so I combine like terms. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared. Negative 4 plus 6 is positive 2. Right? Just combine because there's a plus. When it's a minus, this one stays the same. In this case, again, because it has a positive on the outside, right? When there's nothing there, that's positive. But these, I have to distribute that negative 1. That becomes negative 2x to the fourth, and this becomes positive 3x squared. Negative 1 times positive is negative. Negative 1 times negative is positive. And then I combine my like terms. I have an x and a to the fourth. These are like terms. They both have x to the fourth. 8x to the fourth minus 2x to the fourth is 6x to the fourth. 8x squared plus 3x squared, they're like terms, and that's going to give me 11x squared. So this is the same idea as we were doing before. The only difference is we have more terms. But it's still the same thing. These terms have a positive in front, so I can just write them down. Right, 4r3 minus 4 plus r4. And then this, I have to distribute the negative to everything in this parentheses. So this would become negative 5r to the third, negative 3r squared, and negative 8r to the fourth. Right, because I'm multiplying negative 1 times 5, getting negative 5. Negative 1 times 3, get negative 3. Negative 1 times 8, get negative 8. And now it's 6 terms, but I'm still just combining my like terms. I should start with the highest exponent, which would be r to the fourth. So I have this r to the fourth and this r to the fourth. So that's 1 minus 8, negative 7r to the fourth. I can scratch it out so I don't get confused. Then I have 4r to the third, and this minus 5r to the third, which gives me negative r to the third. Right, 4 minus 5 is negative 1. I have a 3r squared, so there's nothing to combine with that, and it's negative. And then I have a negative 4, and there's nothing to combine with that. So this would be my final answer. It's the same thing as we were doing before. The only difference is there's an extra set of numbers. We'll do 2 more. This one, it's also an extra number, but there's a plus. So all I need to do when there's a plus, when this is a plus and this is a plus, is combine like terms. Let's start with the x to the third, since that's my highest exponent. I have this one and this one. So that's going to be 12x to the third. Right, 5x to the third plus 7x to the third is 12x to the third. I can scratch them off. Then I have x. So I have 3x and x. That would be 4x. And then I have 1 and 5, and that would be 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. And this would be my final answer. Right? It's a lot easier when there's not a negative. We're going to do one last one with a negative, this one. So again, the first thing we do, we have to Nothing happens to this one because there's a positive outside. This one's -1, so I'm going to have to distribute the -1 times everything inside. Because if it's outside the parentheses, you got to multiply it to everything inside. So let me get rid of that. So that becomes -5. Right, -1 times 5 is -5. -1 times -4 is +4. And then -4b squared. Negative times negative is positive. Negative times positive is negative. And then combine like terms. And I am going to start with my highest exponent, which is 4. So that's -8b to the 4th plus 4b to the 4th would be -4b to the 4th. Scratch them off so I don't get confused. Now I have a b squared. -7b squared minus 4b squared is -11b squared. Scratch them off so I don't get confused. And now I have a 3 minus 5, which is -2. And this would be my final answer. All right, this is a review too. We've done this in Unit 1, but I just wanted to do this in case you were having some difficulty understanding. I wanted to do it again.